In today's cricket, dominated by sixes and strike rates, one man stood apart, Cheteshwar Pujara. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud.
So, Cheteshwar Pujara.
But for true cricket fans, he was a treasure. A reminder of old-school Test cricket, where patience was power and courage was silent. On 24th August 2025, as Pujara retired, the game didn't just lose a player. It lost one of its last guardians of pure, timeless batting. Today, we look back at the career of the man who redefined patience,
Is this a chance?
Cheteshwar Pujara, the last wall of Test cricket. Pujara's Test debut came in 2010 against Australia at Bangalore. By then, Indian cricket had already begun transitioning. The legends, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, VVS Laxman, were nearing the twilight of their careers, and everyone knew, sooner or later, someone would have to take Dravid's place. From the very beginning, Pujara's style mirrored the great Rahul Dravid. Compact technique, rock-solid defense, and the ability to bat long hours. He didn't have the flair of Sehwag, the aggression of Kohli, or the flamboyance of Yuvraj. What he had instead was discipline, a virtue that soon became his trademark. In his very second Test innings, Pujara made a statement, a calm 72 against Australia, guiding India to a successful chase. It wasn't just about runs, it was about temperament. India had found their next anchor. The real rise came in 2012. Against England in Ahmedabad, Pujara announced himself to the world with a double century. 206 not out. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't destructive, but it was suffocating for the English bowlers. Over 500 minutes at the crease, Pujara showed what would become his trademark: unshakable patience. The following year in Hyderabad, he smashed 204 against Australia, cementing his place as India's number 3. By then, people had started calling him the Wall 2.0. Over his 103 Test career, Pujara scored 7,195 runs at an average of 43.6, 19 centuries, 35 half-centuries, highest score 206 not out. He faced more than 16,217 balls in Tests, more than any other Indian batter of his generation. But numbers alone don't define him. What defined him was time. The hours he spent at the crease, the frustration he created for world-class bowlers. And nowhere was this more evident than in his most iconic series, India's tour of Australia in 2018-19. When India landed in Australia in 2018, history was against them. Never before had an Indian team won a Test series down under. But by the end of that summer, everything changed. Largely thanks to Cheteshwar Pujara. In 4 Tests, Pujara scored 521 runs at an average of 74.42, including 3 centuries. First Test, Adelaide, 123 in the first innings. A patient, gritty knock that gave India the upper hand and eventually the win. Fourth Test, Sydney, 193 in the first innings, crushing Australia's spirit. Ball after ball, session after session, Pujara absorbed everything thrown at him. Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, but they tried everything. Short balls, bouncers, reverse swing. Pujara simply blocked, defended, and occasionally attacked. India went on to win the series 2-1, and for the first time in history, India had conquered Australia in their own backyard. Virat Kohli was the captain. Jasprit Bumrah was the enforcer. But the backbone, the immovable force, was Cheteshwar Pujara. He was named player of the series. If 2018 was Pujara's peak, then 2021 at the Gabba was his testament to courage. For Australia, the Gabba was a fortress. 32 years unbeaten, a symbol of pride and dominance.
There they are, a 10-wicket victory to the Australians.
Well bowled.
That's got to be very close. Yes, that's the finish.
It's all over. Oh, and it's all over. He's got it in his debut test match. Caught it.
Mitch Marsh
That's it. Oh, that's out. Australia win.
takes the catch. Australia win the test match.
So 1-1 in the series.
For India, walking in with injuries and doubts, it felt like entering the lion's den. The challenge was immense, but so was the belief that even the strongest walls can fall. Chasing 328 in the fourth innings, India needed resilience. Pujara provided exactly that. His score, 56 off 211 balls. But the numbers don't tell the story. That day, Pujara became a punching bag. Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark peppered him with short balls. He was hit on the helmet, the chest, the arms, the ribs. At one point, it looked like he might not even stand. But every time Pujara got up, dusted himself off and took guard again. Rishabh Pant finished the chase with flair. It was Pujara's silent resistance that laid the foundation. He absorbed the blows, he tired the bowlers, and he made sure India reached the final session with hope intact. When India finally won, breaching the Gabba fortress, fans didn't just celebrate Pant's heroics. They bowed to Pujara, the man who took hits so that India could hit back. Sydney 2021, 77 off 205 balls. Another marathon knock, blunting the attack while Pant and Ashwin ensured a heroic draw. Ranchi 2017 to 202 off 525 balls. A true marathon innings. Facing 525 deliveries, Pujara's double century remains one of the longest innings in Indian history.
Good over.
Each of these innings wasn't just about runs, they were about patience, defiance, and character. For all his achievements, Pujara's career was never free of criticism. He was dropped from the limited overs formats early in his career. Even in tests, whenever his form dipped, questions were raised about his slow scoring. He found himself out of the team multiple times, yet always fought his way back. In his later years, he kept grinding in domestic cricket and even in county cricket for Sussex, scoring runs in tough conditions, keeping himself ready for every recall. By the mid-2020s, as India looked to younger players for tests, Pujara's role gradually faded. He played his 103rd and final test in 2023, but his formal announcement of retirement came on 24th August 2025. What is Cheteshwar Pujara's legacy? He wasn't the fastest scorer. He wasn't the most marketable. He didn't play helicopter shots or switch hits. But in the format that truly defines cricket, he was irreplaceable. He carried forward Rahul Dravid's mantle as India's wall. He was the anchor in India's greatest test victories overseas. He taught a generation that patience is still a weapon. In many ways, Pujara's career was about sacrifice. Sacrificing personal milestones for the team's cause. Sacrificing his body for India's victories, and sacrificing fame for respect. As tributes poured in after his retirement, one phrase kept repeating, "The last wall." His career will not be remembered for flashy sixes or fastest hundreds. It will be remembered for hours of defiance, bruises taken with pride, and the calm assurance that India had someone they could rely on when the storm came. He may not have ruled T20 leagues or broken ODI records, but in the longest format, he stood tall. For 13 years, whenever India needed a wall, Pujara was there. And now, as he steps away, cricket says goodbye to its last warrior of patience. He wasn't just a batsman, he was a reminder that Test cricket is not just about runs, it's about character. This is Fact Over, bringing cricket's greatest stories to life. Thanks for watching.